Did you know that 30% of people over 60 suffer at least one fall per year? Most alarming is that many never regain their previous mobility. However, there is a revolutionary method that is transforming the lives of thousands of older adults, allowing them to regain their confidence when walking. These aren't common exercises that you'll find anywhere. This system, developed by biomechanics specialists, has been shown to reduce the risk of falls by more than 70%. If you or a loved one is over 60, this information could radically change their quality of life and autonomy. I wanted to ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, there's a button right below. Subscribe, activate the notification bell, and leave your like, because it will greatly help our work and our growth. Your subscription is very important, so if you can, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave your like. For years, I helplessly watched as my father, at 67, lived in fear after a fall that drastically limited his independence. Doctors simply told him it was a normal part of aging and that he would have to get used to depending more on others. I refused to accept that fate for him. I obsessively researched fall prevention, and together we tried dozens of methods. Some techniques offered small improvements, but nothing transformative, until we discovered something completely different. I intimately know that devastating feeling. The constant fear that your own body will betray you, the humiliation of falling in public, the gradual loss of confidence that makes you a prisoner in your own home. But there is a different approach that is changing lives. My friend Elena, a physical therapist specializing in geriatric rehabilitation, implemented a revolutionary method with her patients that transformed their stability when walking. When I tried to apply it with my father, I failed for months. My frustration grew watching Elena's other patients progress spectacularly while we stagnated. The problem wasn't the method itself. It was that I hadn't properly understood the complete process. Pay attention to every detail I'll share, because the nuances make the difference between failure and extraordinary success. Did you know that traditional fall prevention programs focus almost exclusively on strengthening the legs? While this has its importance, they ignore the true origin of stability, the center of gravity and body posture. The stable center technique completely revolutionizes the conventional approach. It consists of realigning posture before starting each step. Imagine an invisible thread gently pulling from the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Shoulders relaxed and slightly back, abdomen with a subtle contraction. This simple configuration correctly redistributes weight over the feet. My father began practicing this principle just a few minutes daily. In just 2 weeks, the difference in his stability was notable. Maria, a 72-year-old woman we met at Elena's clinic, applied this same technique and managed to walk without a walker for the first time in a year. Correct postural alignment reduces pressure on the joints and allows muscles to work in perfect harmony. However, this is only the first step toward completely renewed mobility. Most people firmly believe that walking slower is safer for older adults. Surprisingly, scientific research demonstrates exactly the opposite. Maintaining an adequate pace, not too slow, significantly improves balance and reduces the risk of falls. When you walk excessively slowly, your body loses the natural momentum that contributes to balance. It's similar to riding a bicycle. Maintaining balance becomes more difficult when you reduce your speed too much. My father used to drag his feet thinking he would be safer, when in reality he was increasing his risk of falling. Understanding the center of gravity and proper posture fundamentally transforms stability. However, many people, including my father, discover that something continues to be missing from the equation. There is a crucial element that Elena tried to explain to me from the beginning, but that I only understood after numerous frustrated attempts. This second component elevates the technique to an entirely new level. The second essential element is what Elena calls the conscious step. It's not simply about where you place your foot, but how you do it. The technique follows a specific pattern. First the heel, then the outer edge of the foot, then the inner part, and finally the toes. This specific sequence of contact with the ground optimally activates the stabilizing muscles of ankles and calves. Jorge, a 78-year-old patient, continued having balance problems even after perfecting his posture. When he incorporated this stepping technique, his confidence in walking improved dramatically in just 10 days. To master this technique, it is recommended to practice barefoot on a safe surface for a few minutes daily, consciously focusing on each part of the foot making contact with the ground in the correct sequence. This gradually reprograms brain and muscle patterns, creating an inherently more stable movement pattern. My father practiced walking on a line drawn on the floor. His therapist suggested imagining that his feet were melting onto the floor, creating a wide and solid base with each step. The difference was surprising. With these two techniques working in synergy, the results are already notable. Professionals who implement both components achieve significant changes in their patients. However, Elena always insisted on a third element that completes the system, a component that has transformed seemingly impossible cases into extraordinary success stories. The final element that perfectly closes the circle is synchronized breathing. The connection between breathing and movement often goes completely unnoticed, but represents the masterpiece that enhances the entire method. The technique consists of consciously synchronizing breathing with steps, inhaling for 2 steps and exhaling for the next 2. This breathing rhythm stabilizes the trunk, optimizes oxygen flow to the muscles, and, crucially, keeps the mind focused on the present moment, significantly reducing distractions that frequently cause falls. Carmen, an 83-year-old lady with advanced osteoporosis, incorporated the 3 techniques into her daily routine. After years depending on a walker, she now does her shopping using only a cane as occasional support. To correctly implement this technique, start practicing while seated. Inhale, counting to 2. Exhale, counting to 2. Then repeat the exercise standing, and finally incorporate the pattern while walking, consciously synchronizing your breathing with your steps. Initially, my father resisted this part of the process. It seemed excessively complicated to coordinate his breathing with movement. However, after a week of constant practice, the technique became completely natural. The transformation was amazing. His therapist documented a 40% improvement in his walking stability after incorporating synchronized breathing. The complete system works like a perfectly orchestrated mechanism. The alignment of the center of gravity establishes the base. The conscious step provides stability with each step, and synchronized breathing integrates the entire system into a fluid and safe movement. The true transformation occurs when these 3 elements work together, creating a synergy that exponentially multiplies the individual benefits of each technique. Imagine being able to walk calmly through the park, climb stairs with confidence, or simply move around your house without that constant fear of falling. This is precisely the reality that those who have diligently applied these 3 techniques live. In future videos, I'll share specific exercises that complement this fundamental method and adaptations for different medical conditions. If this video has been valuable to you, please like it and share it with someone who could benefit from this information. I'd love to know in the comments, which of the 3 techniques do you think could help you or a loved one the most? Remember, our bodies change over the years, but that doesn't mean we should give up our independence and confidence. With the right techniques, we can continue walking safely and with dignity for many more years.